Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another vlog and another video. So tonight, just thought I'd talk with you all about a couple things. So today was this morning was just a complete downpour throughout the entire Rochester, New York area. And parts of Henrietta, right where my work area, BJ's Wholesale Club, is kind of got hit pretty hard today. Got hit pretty hard today. And on the way there to work on the way there to work this morning on the way there to work on the way there to work this morning on the way there to work on the way there to work this morning. Um, uh, Going on 390 where there's at least a couple good rock walls. Rain was coming down so hard and so much that there was so much water that was gushing down a good bit of the rock walls, almost like a waterfall, 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 almost like a water, almost like a water, almost like a waterfall, almost like a waterfall. And the main thing I, the main thing I just, the main thing I just wanted to kind of bring to all your attention, everyone. I'm all right. It's just that, well, when I first got there, and I got there quite early, and just kind of went and mainly hung out in our break room and stuff. The rain was so bad, especially around there, border of Henrietta, that a good bit of the ceiling, good bit of the roof, a good bit of, water was coming, well, a good bit of water was kind of coming from the roof through a good bit of the ceiling, so they had to literally, take all the ceiling tiles around that area down, and they had to set up a whole lot of buckets to catch all the water. So we had a good bit of leaking going on there. And the fact is, one of the buckets wasn't set up. One of the buckets wasn't completely under where the water was coming down, so that was causing a good bit of the floor around there to get quite slippery. Again, I'm okay, but apparently some of us, including myself, did kind of slip and take a little bit of a fall a little bit. I'm all right. It's just that, for me, I kind of landed on my butt a little bit. I'm all right, just a little stiff. I'm all right. 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 Just a little stiff, but some of us, including myself, did kind of take a fall up there in our break room today, including myself. It was pretty bad, based on the amount of leaking that was going on there. So that means they probably got to get a crew there someday soon and to check it all out and get that all remedied and stuff. That was not the only area of our that was not the only area of our place. That was not the only area of that was not the only that was not the only that was not that was not the 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 only that was not the only area of the store. The area where we keep a lot of our electric carts for the mostly disabled people, or for the mainly a lot much older people that require that stuff to get around the place in the store, there was so much water there. I ended up actually moving them to a little bit of a drier part, close by, but in an area where it would be much safer. Because my concern mainly was, people that require them trying to get to one of them or get in one of them and potentially slipping and falling. So again, I moved the all the electric carts that were right there and staged them to a drier area right close by, and then ended up blocking up. Of course, ended up blocking off the area. Ended up blocking off the area where they usually are staged. Because of the extensive amount of water that was coming, that had been there. And so it was probably definitely a smart move in my end to take that action, to take that action, to take that act, to take that to take that action, to take that to take that action, to take that action. And but yeah. So, and once again, so um, but anyway, it sounds like I just hung up with my mom phone and stuff a little while ago, and she said that if I even check anything out in the news tonight, I will probably see a lot of impressive stories about impressive sto- impressive sto- impressive stories about earlier today with the heavy rain, heavy rain. There was this area where the water piled up so much and so bad that there was actually a car that ended up floating around, and there were like two men that were good Samaritans. However, believe it or not to mention that rescued lady that happened to be in it, and most likely saved lady's life, obviously. But it was, but then there was some other stuff. Can't remember what the other stories were, but some very impressive stories, all all relating and all going along with all the heavy rain we had way earlier today, especially early this morning, 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 especially early this morning. Um, but but basically, once again, this spring 2019, and even 2 years ago, spring 2017 was pure hell. Was pure hell, pure pure hell, pure hell down by the lake, especially for people that live down there. Man, living down there is just way too pure hell. And I'm very glad we don't even live down there. And for me, I never ever want to plan to live down there ever, because there's just so much time. There's so many problems with land being washed away. I got to tell you, this spring has just been, and this spring 2019, 2 years later has just been ridiculous, especially today, especially especially today. I predict that even, the houses that are right on the edge of the lake shoreline could even people could even start losing houses out there. Houses out there. There's been so many stories of people that have lost so much of their backyards, even back deck. And I got to tell you, man, none of that stuff can be replaced anytime soon. 2 years ago, when they had that problem 2 years ago for spring 2017, 2 years ago, I remembered a guy on the news saying costs like so much this and that. And, his words I remembered at the end was, I don't know where I'm even going to find that kind of money. Don't you all see how pure hell it can be some years, especially in the spring when there's so much constant rain and more rain? If you live by the canal, Erie Canal, it's not so bad. It can overflow and cause flooding, but I don't think there's as many stories of people having land washed away out there like there has tended to be for people down by the lake, down by the lake, down by the lake, down by the lake. So, but this spring, 2 years later, has just been pure hell down by Lake Ontario, down by Lake Ontario. And in one of my videos we did this past Sunday for Father's Day, 2019, with my dad at Hamlin Beach State Park, was a perfect example. The lake levels, remember you saw, were just so ridiculous. And remember the jetty and stuff that we had looked at was very well underwater, underwater, underwater. It's been hell down there too. It's been hell down there too, just as much. There's been road flooded signs, all throughout, all scattered about and set up throughout that part of the area. It's just been pure hell down there. And one other thing I thought I would kind of talk with you all about, everything continues to go just fine at job at BJ's Wholesale Club, especially BJ's Wholesale Club location in the border of Henrietta and 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 stuff. Today was pretty slow, being with all the rain. Of course, it had kind of picked up. It had kind of picked up as the day went on, once the weather had settled down a good bit. And I cope with everything just fine. I do my best to remain as level-headed about such situations as I can be, such as, sometimes, like, certain times of day when you plan to try to take your lunch break, your lunch period, meal break and stuff, and lunch period or meal break, whatever you refer it to, then it kind of, on a hunch, really tends to pick up quite a bit with, like, buzzes for member assistance and buzzes to help a member or help certain members with certain things. I cope with that all right. I've been doing just fine in well over 7 months there, with just about everything and remaining level-headed with such situations like that. Today, we got to a point where we had these two ladies that did some group home shopping, and they had a huge order. They had quite a few carts, and it definitely took some time to load everything up into their van, but got through that all right. My intention was to take my lunch break, or what I referred to the time that I did potentially intended to do it, around 2:30. But that was around the time when we got the buzz for the couple of ladies that were doing group home shopping that had the huge order, which again did take a while. And again, but I got through it. Did all right. And basically, all in all, I'm ultimately all in all enjoying the job all in all at BJ's Wholesale Club, especially BJ's Wholesale Club location, the border of Henrietta and stuff. And the way I'm going to look at it right now is I'll stick it out as long as I feel I can with BJ's. I don't hate anything about the job. I'm cool with it at this point. The biggest thing is just that, ever since mid latter half of November of late last fall, which would have been latter half of November 2018, late last fall, I slowly, little by little, got my financial situation back on track, which is good. Just once again, right now, I've had a couple factors come up where some of us, including myself right now, aren't working quite as many hours. Right now, I'm doing all right monitoring things, you know, um, but basically, you know, and once again, this was just about to the point where we ended up where we ended up having quite a shake, where we ended up having that shake up a year ago of, when faced, it's just about been a year ago since my termination from Wegmans. And, I think things at this time this year, a year later, are definitely a lot more calmer and a good bit more mellow. We just want to be able to do everything possible to keep it that way. And once again, like I've said in one of my videos from a couple weeks ago, like I've said, the way we look at it around here, but once again, it's definitely in best interest to just do everything possible to get through summer 2019 in peace. Summer 2018 got to be pure hell enough. So definitely want to get through summer 2019 and so on, and so on peacefully for sure, and so on peacefully for sure, and so on peacefully for sure. Once again, like I said, at this point, financially, all is good in my end. All is good. The one situation anybody like myself should definitely do whatever we can to stay away from. Remember in one of my videos that I did, remember the vlog I did about how things have been for a while after facing termination from Wegmans just about a year ago, before landing job with where I am now at BJ's Wholesale Club and BJ's Wholesale Club location, the border of Henrietta and stuff. Remember when I kind of got into that scam situation where I had gotten this email from this gang and stuff, and then I had kind of laid down some of the obvious information, address and stuff, which obviously in the end was not such a good idea. And when I had gotten the check in the mail, initially had attempted to deposit it in the bank last fall, but then that really got a lot of my people here very worried, remember? Because sometimes gangs like that will kind of look for people that currently are without a job and stuff, and obviously we're past that. Obviously we're past that now. And remember in one of my videos that I did about also how things have been after facing termination from Wegmans just about a year ago and before landing job at where I am now, BJ's Wholesale Club and Henrietta BJ's Wholesale Club location. Remember how I had also talked about how initially had interviewed at one of Area Top's Friendly Market locations, and at first they had wanted to accept me, but then there was a couple factors that made me kind of back out. Remember how I had really kind of gotten a good bit of my people around here concerned about that, the fact that it had been a few weeks since Buffalo Bills camp had ended. And of course, you know, I wouldn't say things were exactly falling apart financially at the time, but you know, it was causing accounts to drop for a while. And you know, definitely glad we're past that stage for sure. Definitely glad we're past that. Definitely glad we're past that stage for sure. And once again, definitely not something any one of us, any one of my people, including myself, would want to have to repeat anytime soon at all. And again, I'm doing this vlogging for you all out there, you all viewers out there. I'm doing this all for you. I'm even kind of doing it for myself so I can watch this again in due time and remind myself that, you know, those times were just pure hell, and we want to try and avoid them as much as possibly can, or as much as possible, as much as possible, as much as possible. And so, you know, once again, tomorrow's the day I have my first recovery shift I've had in quite a while, even quite a long time, and quite a few months at work at BJ's Wholesale Club, Henrietta BJ's Wholesale Club location tomorrow. Once again, I'll try and do a vlog either tomorrow evening after getting home from work, or if not, early Saturday, letting you know how it all goes. And also, on top of that, tomorrow is the first day of summer 2019. Tomorrow is the summer equinox. Well, I don't know about summer equinox if they refer to that, but tomorrow is the 2019 summer solstice. Tomorrow is the first day of summer 2019, longest day of the year. Then it's going to little by little go in reverse, sadly, but we'll continue to enjoy it while it lasts. But it's late, so that's as far as I'm going to bring the vlog and the video. This is the longest vlog and video I've done in quite a while. If you enjoyed this vlog and this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up for sure. Be sure to go down and comment down below. Be sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to go down and subscribe for sure. And I'll see you tomorrow, with either tomorrow or Saturday morning. I'll try to do it tomorrow evening when I get home from work, depending on how I feel, if I can, giving you an update on how my first recovery shift I've had in a while all goes. Hopefully it'll all go right. I'll see you then. Peace.